esteemed panelists for taking out your valuable time for having us the discussion with us. Now, it's my pleasure to invite you all to this wonderful panel discussion because it's equally important to understand where the pharma sector is typically leading. Uh, to build on more context, why we are discussing here is we already know that India is recognized as one of the top country or maybe the pharmacy of the world, right? But then it's equally important to also understand where we are leading next in the next 5 to 10 years in terms of agility, in terms of supply chain, in terms of operational excellence, and what role this digital technology and digital transformation would be playing in the overall pharma packaging or pharma sector as a whole. Now, to have this wonderful discussion, we have the esteemed leaders from the industry who have those practical experience to share their valuable inputs, where we are heading, what kind of strategies are there in terms of operational excellence, digital transformation, and exceeding in the global supply chain in the pharma sector. So I am very happy to introduce our panelists over here. So we have Mr. Tushar Maradwar, Head of Operation Excellence, Dr. Reddy Laboratories. Then we have Mr. Shridhar Surat, Associate Vice President, Aurobindo Pharma. Then we have Mr. Siddharth Krishna, Senior Consultant, Novartis. And then we have Mr. Ratnakar, Team Leader, India Deployment Manager for Ferring Laboratory Private Limited. So I thank you all for taking your valuable time and having this discussion with us. So I would like to start this panel discussion with a very initial or context building question, which is an open question to all of you. We already know that India is pharmacy of the world and recognized from that context. But then moving on into the next 5 year, let's say by 2030, what is that one capability or quality that would be required for India to excel into the operational excellence to transform more digitally in the pharma packaging world? So I would love to hear your inputs on this open question. So maybe Mr. Tushar, you can start and then we can continue in the order. Yeah.
So, if you wanted to go, if you see by 2030, our Indian pharma company, the very first thing is required that our thinking towards beyond compliance is very important, because till now still regulatory comes and then teaches us, because that is the bare minimum which is required. It's a taking breathing. The compliance is taking like a breathing. Without breathing, the person cannot survive. So we need to think beyond that, and the to do things for that beyond compliance is that even in the packaging also, we know that many market complaints comes, and then our thinking towards that, how we can generate a mistake proof actions towards that, because we learn do the mistakes, but after giving the kappa again, same kind of issues comes back. So thinking on mistake proof actions by the application of digitalization is the one thing which I think will help us to move forward, and we best for the 2030.
Great point, Mr. Tushar. Mr. Ratnakar, we would love to hear from you as well.
Yeah, thank you, Mohit, for this wonderful question. So definitely, the today world is going towards the digital platform and digital transformation journey. And if you think about the one capability that I can highlight here, the end-to-end digital transformation implementation towards the all operational sites. As I am into some industry like where the many operators are there, many end users are there. So the upskilling of the recent requirements, how to upskill the empowering the people, that is more important. And if you want to tell about the requirement that the data-driven decision making over the intuition and collaboration over silos. So these are the more things capability you need to put in future of 2030.
Great perspective. Mr. Sridhar, would love to hear from you as well.
Thank you, Mohit. Good morning, everyone. Like the industry is now in a transformation stage, I should say. and whereas it is more related to compliance, like Tushar was mentioning. Now, the main task and the challenge for the industry is going into the compliance mode, which is becoming more and more stricter and stringent. So, this can be done only through digitalization and avoiding manual records. So, the auditor will have better understanding, and the confidence level of the auditor also increases with this. So, Indian industry, I see it is going into that direction. I see a lot of digitalization, then the logs, electronic system coming in, and most of the areas we are into digitalization, which increases the compliance. That is the main challenge of this industry, and I feel we are in the right direction. And going forward also, like the other part of automations, and these are the things which are going to drive this industry going forward.
Great, great. Mr. Siddharth, your takeaway into this.
Thank you for this question and thank you for all the inputs from the esteemed panelists. I think pharmacy of the world is a heritage and a legacy that we carry, and the great work done by luminaries and scientists of the past within the pharma industry is a heritage that is handed over to us. Now it's our responsibility to take this forward. And there are key levers and key transitions that are happening within the industry. We've built capacities, but it's about sustainability also, sustainable manufacturing, making sure the impact on environment because of our manufacturing capabilities is as positive as possible. And the second lever I would probably want to point out is something that we all know is adoption of artificial intelligence, where artificial intelligence is going to enhance our decision making, be it within packaging, be it within manufacturing. And probably the third, and this is kind of the most important lever, I would say, is how do we align ourselves as not just a partner to global pharma ecosystem, but also as an innovation partner, where the requirements are slowly moving away from capacity to capabilities, where you have fermentation capabilities that are being built up, you have peptide facilities that are being built up. So how do we align ourselves to that? So these three levers will take us to 2030 is how I believe.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Mr. Siddharth, as well. A very well point you also mentioned about AI, which is again talk of the town these days. I mean, you open any digital forum or read anywhere. This is how AI is transforming, in terms of digital transformation across sectors, and all and of course, pharma sector is one more sector where a lot of digital transformation would be happening. So, thank you, leaders, for establishing a very good foundation for this panel discussion. Now let's move forward to a more deeper and more granular insights where I would also love to understand more from you with respect to your functions, with respect to your roles which you play in your current organizations, and how that relates to the topic we are discussing today. So I'll love to start on with Mr. Tushar. So operation excellence has traditionally focused on productivity, efficiency, and process management, but then now we are entering in the era where manufacturing is more uh, connected and data driven approach. So I would like to understand more from you, how do you see operational excellence evolving with automation, digitization, and data driven approaches?
So, first of all, in operation excellence, I just wanted to clear this myth that without safety and quality, productivity cannot be sustained. Even if any organization has done productivity, the basic safety and quality has to be over there. Second thing is that it's not that if any organization is trying for the productivity and then we are losing quality, it is not at all possible. It is hand in hand. Once the quality and safety will be there, then only productivity will come. Because if someone will try for some time to gain something but will fall down again, so the safety and quality is the basic foundation. Without that, even any excellence program cannot be sustained. Even in today's era of the AI and digitalization, the very first thing is this two pillar is very very important. And I just wanted to tell that let's not be uh, run around that everyone is doing AI, and we also wanted to do first understand our perspective, that where are we and what we required, and how the see an AI digitalization, these are the enablers things to make us faster. So first we should understand what is the need for us, and then try to apply. These are the enabler tools are available, then try to use that part. So that is the only thing, because many places in many organization are just investing like that, and then after 2 3 quarter we come to know, management says, oh, the expected results are not there, and XYZ enablers tools are not good. So it's not that. First we need to understand what we require and how to use that part. Thanks.
Great, great. So you mentioned about these factors being enabler, like the technology being enable. So how are pharma companies balancing these productivity these with these kind of enablers? Can you share some more insight into that?
So, for example, we know the batch failure and the product robustness is the one of the important things in the pharma, that everyone wants that my right first time should be towards close to 100%. Okay, and for that, if we go deeper on that, for every critical quality attributes, we have the critical process parameters are there. So. With the help of AI online, once my batch is running, I can come to know what will be the outcome of my CQA. Example for SA is the value. So SA depends on different parameters, critical parameters. Once the batch is running, we can come to know that if I will manage this parameter within my golden tunnel, I will 101% I will achieve my SA value. So towards that, if we'll use the AI, I'm telling it will be really great help for all of us, and then we can make the RFT really close to 100%. In current situation, we are in between 85 to 95%, and once we reach on 95%, then people say, oh, it's a really great. But I'm telling, with application of AI, it is it is really possible to go beyond 95 and even touch to 100%. So that is the thing which we can easily do with AI application.
Sure, sure, sir. Thank you very much for those wonderful insights. Now, I would like to rope in Mr. Shridhar into the discussion. So, Mr. Shridhar, India has already built a strong capabilities in terms of pharmaceutical manufacturing and serving to the global nations as well. And as we move towards 2030, I would like to understand what strategical shift is required for India to move from a volume driven manufacturing nation to more from a global benchmark manufacturing excellence?
Yeah, it's a good question. But again, coming to volume driven, we have to be volume driven. But the technology, what we adopt, and the compliance, what we do, that matters more here
Right.
going forward. So, what I feel is the transition is there, and we should adopt new technologies, innovate new technologies other than like we are now cost saving implication is there. Now we have to go for innovative technologies which are having high value. So these innovations, like it has to be done in manufacturing, in the quality compliance part, and the packaging as well, and sustainability. So going forward, I think our country is almost supplying 20% of generics by volume, and this has to, if we want to create a benchmark, like you were saying, then we have to adopt this manufacturing technologies like continuous process away from our batch process. We have to go adopt some new technologies like continuous batch process, micro reactors, wherein we can save time, energy, and the risk involved is also less. So going forward, this will be the technology which will be used in the manufacturing, and bioreactors, then the biocatalyst should be used to reduce the number of steps. Unless we change or innovate ourselves, it will be a very tough task to be again volume driven and having the same compliance part. And one more thing is related to the compliance, now that as a pharma industry, though you manufacture, the compliance part is very important. Once if the compliance is not there, you're not regulatory compliant, then again your production will all go waste. You cannot supply to the markets. So here again, compliance means it's more of now we are into a more of a manual mode where we are paper manual operations are there and manual entries are there. So this has to change. We have to innovate into a digital wherein the quality system will have the eBPCRs, e-logs, these kind of implementation, then the digitalization like LIMS and other parts have to be done so that these innovations will take us forward, and compliance is a very important part. And again related to packaging where we have these data loggers uh, the logistics have to be monitored here, and the packaging system like now we are using suppose PVC containers or other things, then we have to switch over to more biodegradable packaging systems which will help us sustain, because the global they are going to dictate terms in future. So we should be ready to adopt to these changes so that again we create a benchmark in global manufacturing as well.
Mhm. Absolutely agree with you, Mr. Sridhar. You spoke about innovation, which would be leading us in the future growth within this particular sector. How strongly do you believe the innovation would be redefining India's growth in the next 5 years, be it automation across departments, different functions, excellence across different things? So, how strongly do you believe this technology integration would lead us there? Of course, there would be certain challenges related to integration because we would be dealing with legacy systems which is already there. So there would be a lot of cost involved into digitalizing each and every aspect of this. So uh, need your perspective on how strongly you believe that redefining this would again lead us to those kind of growth.
Right. So you talked about the legacy systems. It is definitely difficult to break away from the legacy systems. But like I said earlier also, now we are in a position where it is not, we cannot avoid these changes.
Mhm.
And going forward, like if you see in the manufacturing, like I mentioned earlier also, we have to go with the flow chemistry, then the bioreactors to avoid this regular small batch processes wherein the mistakes and the uh, failures are more. So these kind of technologies we have to adopt in manufacturing. And again, coming to automation, which is required now, because now the manpower in India is also getting costlier, and automation, we do have this automation, including digitalization. See, any basic automation, we should have a good ERP system first in place so that everything works out with the interface of the ERP system. So when we do the automation, like you have some DAS systems and uh, like your digital control systems, automation with control walls, the solvent recovery plants. So these data loggers and other things, they help us to collect the data. The IoTs, even in the utilities, when we are monitoring the utilities, we have a utility management system. You have a warehouse management systems. These are all integrated with our ERP system. So once you have the DAS system, you can collect the data which can be interpreted through an AI. And again, if you suppose we have data is there, but when we interpret it, it will take some time. It will take more time for any investigation also. So this AI tool, these are going to help us. Like I was mentioning in the utility part, you can have a predictive maintenance, a prescriptive maintenance. This data is going to work for us. So it will reduce the time and it will be more efficient, and the process will become more efficient, like the failures will reduce. And coming to the quality part, if you see in the quality, we can have the e-logs, then the eBPCRs, which are coming in. Then we have the LIMS system, which is paperless. So these kind of tools which we will be using in future, and almost it is, we are using it now. We are almost into the 4.0. wherein we have the data, we have the digitalizations, but the next step is going to be more like into more of AI being used. Like you have mentioned, how we have to adopt it. This is already there, and I think the manpower which is there now also, we can train them. Now every person knows how to use a phone, which is almost a computer like thing now. So people are very easily getting adopted to our digitalization systems. Whatever we are introducing, then the employees or the staff very easily adopt to these changes. Then coming to the quality management system, you have a agile system wherein you put in all kappas and everything, every history is there, every change is recorded. And this gives the confidence to the auditor also when everything is tracked in a digital mode. Then our compliance level increases, which is very important for a pharma industry. So after this, coming to the warehouse part, where you have the ERP system, you're monitoring the raw materials, WMS system, and we have the e-learning also. So it's a total package for the pharma industry.
Right.
The more you automate, the more compliant you will become. So this is the trend, and now going forward for 4.0, which is already there in the pharma industry, I believe, then adopting to these changes is not difficult, like you have mentioned. The cost part, if you say, there is a, like if you have a data logger for a simple look, one crystallizer also, if you take data logger, then the operator need not worry about recording the temperature every half an hour or 1 hour. So this the person, same person can be utilized for the other activities, because these manual entries are being reduced. And once you take out data logger system and you put it into the BPCR, in the eBPCR also, this will give the confidence to the auditor, and more of compliance will increase, and it is a safe, I should say, in terms of manufacturing wise and the compliance part. So these two things are going to drive, and these are the digitalization activities with the automation, which will take us to the next level. But the technologies, the structural changes in the technology, like I was saying, from the batch process or legacy manufacturing setup, we have to definitely think about bioreactors, biocatalysts, and flow chemistry, which is going to be the future of the pharma industry.
Great insights, Mr. Sridhar. So you very well correctly spoke about the technology implementation and other parts of the digital transformation journey as well. And with this context, I would like to invite Mr. Ratnakar to the discussion as well. And I would like to bring in your perspective on the execution and deployment side of these. So while technologies are rapidly evolving, and successful implementation of this technology is where the transformation would be actually happening. So I would like to understand more from you. What are the key challenges do you currently see in the implementation of these kind of digital solutions across the entire value chain within the pharma manufacturing sector?
Yeah. So thank you, Mohitji, for this excellent question. So here I want to highlight, if the pharma manufacturers, if the pharma industries want to implement the digital transformation, automation, and smart manufacturing technology in 2030, which is need of an hour for all pharma industries. So it is not only to implement the systems or digital transformation system in the pharma industry. The biggest challenge is that how to sustain it for a longer run with all the requirements of quality, productivity, and regulatory compliance. So as Sridhar sir also told, now whatever the requirements of regulatory compliance before 10 years back, and if you see the pharma industry scenario in present scenario, it shifts drastically. So we need to focus the challenges. So here I want to highlight there are major challenges. So three challenges is, I think it's more requirement for the pharma industry to implement it for a digital transformation journey. The first challenge is managing the change. So adapting the change for the people. So here I want to highlight three things: people, process, and the platform. So the people who use it, right? So many times the transformation journey from a manual system to a digital system. So the end user who is use the system, so the end user should understand what is the requirement of this digitalization, right? And you know that many people in the pharma industry, they are not the IT background, they are into the pharma background. And when you are telling that it's a digital transformation journey, then they will surprise, hey, what is going on, how I can take it in my system, so they'll fear it, right? So we need to train them, we need to upskill them, and we need to train them how to adapt the new technology. We need to empower them how the technology will be help them in a longer run. So that is the first thing, we need to train our people first. And second is that the process, because every time the decision will be taken in the conference room by CTO, CIO, and CFO, right? When the discussion is going with the stakeholders management, with the third party vendor, we are giving the orders. But how the end user will know, understand who is the my stakeholder to whom I will work. So the streamline of the process, standardization of the process, and optimization of the process to meet the business requirements. That is the second thing. If my process is not streamlined, my process is not simplified, then I cannot integrate the digital platform to my system. Then the batch will run, and in night shift, somebody will stock on the batch. There is a requirement to release the batch into market. So the person not understand the requirement of the simplicity of the process, and he will hold it. And when you require, then again he will take a deviation. Again he will take the incident, and he will deviate the process. Then what is the requirement of digitalization? So we need to understand that the process streamline is very important. And third thing is that platform. So what platform I'm using for implement the digitalization journey? Because many times the platform is nothing but the tools, right? And the tools now we are using, for example, if I'll give our company, we are implementing the end-to-end from dispensing to dispatch, the process automation system. So when we are implementing this process automation system, so we want first understand the what are the integration with the legacy systems. So whether I have done the risk assessment for my existing systems, because if you will tell no, I want to implement throughout from dispensing to dispatch new systems, so no company will allow, right? So I want to evaluate that what my existing system, can I integrate these systems with my digital platform? So that is very important to understand the requirements of my platform also. So that is very important. And third point, return on investment. So if we want to implement the digitalization and automation and smart manufacturing, so the company also need what is the investment, what I am doing the investment, how I'll return back. So it is not a one-time journey. It is not a one night it will get the investment. But in a longer run, definitely there will be some return on the investment for the regulatory compliance, for the regulatory requirements, for the increasing of quality and the productivity. So I need to tell that for these 3P, always we need to understand the 3S. That is skilling of the manpower, skilling of the workforce, simplicity of the process, standardize of the process, and streamline and seamless integration of my platform. So that will be give me the particular challenges what now the pharma companies are facing to implement our digital platform journey. So the digital transformation journey not only enables the technology because the people will drive it, but the process will long run, the robust process will manage it for a longer run and sustain it. Thank you.
Great insight, Mr. Ratnakar. So I would like to have a more follow-up or detailed discussion with you. You spoke about three P's, out of which first is very important, which is the people, and then you spoke about the three S's as well. So, in terms of the people or in terms of the team, which I believe are the crucial part of the entire value chain, because from the technology perspective, we can build those technologies, we can upgrade those technologies, we can implement the processes as well. But then teams are very important and a crucial aspect in the entire value chain. So, I would like to understand more from a collaboration perspective how pharma companies can build stronger collaborations between the key stakeholders in the value chain, be it from the manufacturing team or let's say the technology partner or the operational team. So how we can build those strategies in terms of collaborating these kind of teams together?
So you rightly asked this. So nowadays, people are more investing on the particular the technology. But I can tell that beyond the technology, beyond the process, the important thing is that the technology is not the journey alone. It's a collaboration journey.
Right.
So I want to highlight here three things. The first thing is that how the system is built, because if there is a clear objective and clear vision for what I'm implementing systems, what digital journey will help to implement the system, so that stakeholder involvement. So the important is that when we are into a pharma industry, the first requirement to compliance first. Always we need to understand the right at first time concept with the quality culture. So what is the quality culture? Whenever anything we need to do, that should be meet the data integrity requirements, cyber security requirement, and interoperatively requirement with the operational excellence. So if there will be clear vision for the stakeholders, for the end user who will use the digital system, and also the service providers. For example, I'll give an example where we are implementing in our site the S4 HANA, the digital technology which required for nowadays. So that we are implementing with AI chatbot. So the old scenario is that where we are just taking the SAP and we are putting that RS32 for warehouse management system, then I will to take all this. Then the people also very much not understanding what is the SAP requirement, and they feel that okay, this will be give me more criticality and more inefficient work. So what we have done, just we have integrated with the AI system with chatbot. So it is very easy that one person will go, for example, I need 500 kg base size for my warehouse production, warehouse issuance to the production requirement. I need to put just a voice command that please provide the BOM of 500 kg base size for this particular X batch. Then automatically the PR, process order and purchase order will request and it will give to them. So the understanding clear vision and the share responsibility is very important. And second thing is that the collaboration should start yearly phase. So when we are preparing the URS, when we are discussing to the stakeholders, the vendors and the third party integration system holders, we need to discuss them clearly that what is their requirement and how we done it. So many times what is the problem is that we are not collaborating with them and we are just implementing a system. So when the pre-discovery phase, design phase, and testing phase, and it will come to the running phase, then everything is changed. So what is our requirement URS and what we are implementing, that is completely changed. So we need a team where we need to involve them particularly to one sector from the stakeholders, another sector for the end users, and next is the who will use the system. Then only the collaboration journey will start. So it should be start from the yearly, from the proof of concept, risk assessment. When we're performing the risk assessment, we need to involve the vendor also. It's not like that we have taken a decision on the senior peoples and we are implementing, and tomorrow when it will go for the implement, then it's completely vanished, the requirement.
Right.
And third thing is that we need to make a roadmap for internal cross-functional transformation team. Because many pharma companies, the digital transformation failure reason is that they are not involving the team. For example, I want to implement a a integrity program. For example, I want to implement a document management system in my company. So what I am doing, I have made the URS, I have given to a vendor, and tomorrow the PO is gone and I need to implement that. But once this implemented happen, so the person who involved in the training, he is not there. And the vendor will not respond. Okay, he is support for the hypercare phase only 2 months or 1 month. After that, he'll tell request, go put the request and take the AMC, then we will support. Then again, the end user will try to manipulate the system. Again, the end user will try to take a deviation and run the batch because the batch urgency is there. We have to produce the batch to the market.
Right.
Then only the system will be lapse. So we need to complete collaboration and transformation team who will take all the trainings, and so because it's a digital transformation journey, so it's not like that today we have implement, tomorrow we'll get the result. So we need to involve all the stakeholders, in particular from design phase to the implementation phase.
Right.
So That is today world, if the pharma companies want to grow or to meet the current requirements of digital journey, so they should think about the collaboration, integration with the business partners, not only by maintaining inside the requirements, but also the technology beyond the partnership. That is the need of an hour and the requirement to implement a robust system of automation, digitalization, and smart manufacturing. Thank you.
Great, great. Very wonderful insights, Mr. Ratnakar, and very well put regarding the collaboration between the people, technology, and various processes. Now we are also talking more from the digital technology and transformation purpose. So let's more understand more from Mr. Siddharth. So, Mr. Siddharth, you spoken in the opening session of the panel discussion about AI technology. I would like to understand more from where do you see the practical use cases of these kind of AI technology or digital transformation technologies happening uh, across the pharmaceutical value chain. So, can you highlight some of the practical use cases where we are implementing this kind of technology, or maybe futuristic perspective where we could implement and streamline the operations to achieve those kind of operational excellence?
So I think AI is the buzzword, and AI is artificial intelligence. So it's still artificial in nature, Mohit. So original intelligence is still with us humans.
Right.
So anywhere within the pharma value chain where humans are able to handhold AI and take it and guide it and use it for a streamlined operations is where a use case can come up. It can be as simple as making sure an AI is looking for predictive maintenance, right? You have certain times machinery failure because of which the manufacturing ecosystem stalls. And we do preventive maintenance right now, but in the future we could do predictive maintenance based on data that is fed from systems which are already there within the manufacturing ecosystem, and minimize the amount of time that is spent on doing maintenance, or probably something as simple as batch changeover. Currently we have forecasting and teams working on forecasting who look at batch changeover, who look at what is the log at which the whole manufacturing ecosystem runs. But if we have an interconnected system, as Tushar, as Mr. Ratnakar, everyone was highlighting, where we have an interconnected system and it is linked to ERP, it becomes fairly simple because the underlying logic and underlying technology is fairly simple. I don't think that it is rocket science, but it's just about application of simple common sense and integrating technology and applying in use cases where you're doing predictive maintenance, where you're doing automation of batch changeover. And on other end, at certain times we need to rely on data from vendors, right? Like for example, if we are relying on packaging materials which are coming from the outside of manufacturing ecosystem, and the vendor might take time to send the right amount of data. Let's suppose we want to look at defects which are happening from the vendor side, and we necessarily might not have the right person to look at the data, and not have enough capacity to look at data from vendors, and probably even upskill and bring them to a level which the company requires. An AI agent can do that job quite easily, where you have agent systems working in close collaboration. And like Mr. Ratnakar was mentioning, we have chatbot systems. So simple chatbot system which can interact with vendors and bring them and upskill them to our capabilities is also something that I see. But to sum it all, the opportunities are huge. It's about us to use our original intelligence and apply them. So that's where I'm at.
Great, great. Now, I also have one follow-on question for you. You spoke about all these use cases, your perspective on AI, and I agree with you. The intelligence still remain with us as a human to take those critical decisions. But then many companies initiate those kind of digital transformation plans within their company, and over their implementation period, they face a lot of challenges while scaling them, right? It could be due to internal operations or the flow or the how the teams have been structured. So what according to you are the key factors which would be essential for any pharma company to move from a pivot or an initial phase of deployment to an enterprise-wide deployment for the AI tech or other kind of digital transformation technologies?
The first thing is benefit. I mean, we can't just simply take the technology and shove it down people's throats saying that use this tech. That's a recipe for failure. So the very first thing is for people to see these benefits intuitively. So for example, if a person working in quality management is able to understand that the daily tasks are slightly reduced, the amount of effort and work that is required for his or her daily task is slightly reduced, the adoption of technology becomes slightly easier because the entire team is able to see where the technology fits in. Second thing is the governance model around this. And this is a time and tested model that exists in any organization. You have champions of technology where the governance model ensure the champions themselves speak up about the benefits that they have seen within this technology. So you can also follow a simple 60-40 rule or 60-20-20 rule where initial adoption will be undertaken by 60% of the team for any technology that comes in. 20% will follow, and the remaining 20% will still require some hand holding and support, where the learning team comes in and then guides the entire team on how to adopt this technology. And I think finally, this is not something new that the pharma industry is doing because pharma industry has adopted technology like ERP, like warehouse management systems, LIMS. So this is not something new. We already have the framework. It's just about application.
Okay, well understood and well taken. So we are almost done with the panel discussion, and we heard all the experts and the leaders, their perspective on how we can transform the pharma sector through the use of technology, digital transformation. What are the factors that are driving that? What are the key challenges? Now let's close this panel discussion with a very, very interesting segment, which is more from a rapid fire round, where I would need maybe 1 minute of each of your time to answer one very, very specific question that if talking more from a vision India Pharma 2030, what is that one technology or one capability or the correct mindset uh, that could change the pharmaceutical company to become globally competitive? Mr. Tushar, your takeaway on that? Yeah, ma'am.
I would still say that our thinking beyond compliance is very, very important, because the moment we'll think beyond compliance, then compliance is already met. So we need not to worry on any auditor. We are all time audit readiness is available. Anytime let anyone come over there. So thinking beyond compliance is very, very important for 2030.
Mr. Ratnakar.
So I want to tell 3C: collaboration, communication, and coordination. So that is, so if you ask me one technology, so now everybody is understanding and everybody is query about the AIML and advanced analytics. So that is the need of an hour. And if you will go to 2030, after the implementation of AIML from US FDA, then every company, every manufacturer has to be take the digital transformation system. One capability, end-to-end implementation of the digital transmission system with operational excellence, operational capability, and real-time data analysis. And if you ask me the mindset, definitely the end-to-end mindset of the people that need to be changed, and upskilling of the people, and also to acquire with the new technology, new systems, and new requirements with the regulatory compliance that is requirement for this next generation people. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Yeah, Mr. Shridhar.
Yeah, for me, I think the manufacturing system, the technology, the structural changes have to be brought in because of the traditional pharma industry, wherein more of, I'm basically talking of API industry. So where are the operations are more of batch operations, and this requires a shift to like continuous reactors or micro reactors, and this will improve our production processes, and it will, the compliance part also will increase in this, wherein the digitalization and other things will come in once you put anything into a continuous mode. So this is the way we should go forward, and that is the next thing which is going to happen to the industry.
Great. Mr. Shridhar, your points.
I think for me, it's fairly simple. The next big blockbuster drug has to be manufactured in India. It's slightly visionary, but I hope that all teams, compliance, R&D, everyone comes together. The next big
Mhm.
product is from India. So I think that'll be.
Okay, great, great. So Mr. Ratnakar has also mentioned a lot of threes in this panel, whether it is three Ps, three S, and three Cs. So I'll be taking away as a key insight with me, being a consultant in industry. I will try to implement those aspects in our intelligence reports as well. Thank you, Mr. Ratnakar, for that. So with this, we are now closing the panel session. But before we do that, I would like to open for any Q&A from any of the audience. If you have any queries, any questions, maybe we can ask our esteemed leaders for that.
It seems some crystallization of the proteins and everything it is taking to the orbit, and there because of gravitational issue it is becoming very faster. Any view on that? Because lot of space applications for pharma industry evolving out. Any idea towards that? Any inputs anybody can give?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
No, particularly for clinical crystallization or protein crystallizations in the clinical trials processes. So nowadays space application, because taking it to the orbit, these samples, and making it crystallization, because of some gravitational issue when you are doing it here. So the things of entire clinical trials phase is becoming very faster actually, in fact. So now I think those applications are coming out. This is a very, very innovative approach now. So any idea that what is that any company is doing towards that?
Maybe Hetero is
Answer.
just establishing one space research center near to this Medcell center. So I am not sure about that technology what you are asking, but Hetero is doing some work in Hyderabad only. So
Okay.
they have a manufacturing site near to Medcell. So there is very huge plant of the space technology.
Okay.
So digital and transformation on space side,
Mhm.
the implementing some pharma research like drug
Research.
discovery, drug clinical research, clinical trials, development, all are doing by that. But I'm not sure that how this
I think
requirement
much
are
more
there for
beyond of
digital
these things we have to
crystallization and
discuss
all.
about the compliance and regulatory affairs.
Right.
But these are the new technologies where all pharma companies look at it and then take the leverage of the space orbit and all these things. Thank you.
We need to also understand that how it will be done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Shridhar, you wanted to add something to this?
No, actually, I thought more related to the space crystallization.
Okay,
I
great,
thought
great.
it was a regular crystallization and
Okay,
other
okay.
types
No
of
worries.
crystallization.
So any last question before we wrap up the panel? Yeah, we can have.
Good afternoon, and thank you all the panelists for explaining and giving your inputs. Myself, Nagarjun Reddy, from analytical research and development background, seeing the concept of India Pharma 2030. You people have given very good input, but I have one question, and we have discussed all people, products, projects, technology, AI, all the things. I have one question: how people will cope up with this new technology aspects, because for the decades people have followed traditional methods, and we are following that only. But how the shift will happen, because industry is taking forward but people are being behind. So that is one concern bothering me. Without people, industry, and I would say with people cooperation and with their advancement, industry will go more forward. But in this AI era, Gen Z will adopt all the aspects with speed. But my question is how the existing employees or how the existing professionals will cope up with this new technological aspects. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, let me explain. Here, adopting to new technology or anything you introduce with respect to away from the manual manufacturing systems or records, what is happen is like Mr. Ratnakar was mentioning, we should not, though it's a top driven, when you see the digitalization implementation going to automation and other things. But that initially what we want actually from that, and the teams, the person who is working, those they should be involved initially. What are the difficulties there? What are the practical problems? Suppose you are going to introduce some simple example I'll give. Some data logger you want to introduce for a dryer or a crystallizer. So this is a big issue because there will be some deviations and other things when you implement it. So we should discuss what are the problems which we are going to face in this. There will be some regulatory issues are also there. So this has to be done with the ground level staff. What exactly we are trying to put in, and what are the problems, issues are there with respect to your records or with respect to your process. So once you align these two, then you can implement it. So the basic workman who is doing it, they should be involved and what we are going to implement. So that gap will reduce, and some if there are some bottlenecks or some other problems, troubleshooting also there, which can be overcome. Suppose we do the 80% of the job right first time, then the rest 20% during implementation can be done. So it will be a transformation. Suppose you introduce some simple thing like warehouse management system also. Initially, it looks very difficult because we are managing so many labels, documents, and other things. Every person is putting a new label, a retest label, or approved label. So once you have the WMS system, it takes care of the ease of doing things. Also, should be explained to the team. It will take some time for them to adopt, but the traceability and other things will improve. So it is the basic, the person who is doing the job, we should discuss with him and go accordingly, plan that change.
Thank you, then. Thank you.
So here, if you ask about the how to do that, I'll give you 3 E, that engage, empower, and involve.
Okay.
So engage means what we have done when we implementing our new digital transformation journey for the process automation system in our site. So we engage the people because as I told, many people are from pharma background, right, in pharma industry. And then if you'll tell IT implementation, then they will think it is job of IT department, right? So we need to engage all the stakeholders like your engineering, your operational excellence, your supply chain, your manufacturing, all the stakeholders engagement, so that they will feel that, okay, it's not only my job and I am not only involved in that, it's a responsibility of the company and responsibility all. Then empower means you need to give refresher training. Like once implemented, we need to support them. So it's not like that implemented and your job is over. So you need to engage, you need to empower them throughout the journey, throughout the system in your site. Then evolve them for the next requirements. For example, it's a software, right? Always the software updation is required. So once it's done, then the next version. Today the software is installed and tomorrow another version will come. So how they'll know? So they should evolve the system and they should understand the new requirements. So if we'll do 3 things, then definitely they will involve in the digital transformation journey. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I'll add the 3 E's to my list as well.
So I think the last point maybe I will take his question in a different way. He might be asking that as the new technologies are coming and the people who is not very aware on that front, how they should join that journey very fast, and what the organization should do for them, because at the end it is very important. Technology will move very fast. The my Gen Z generation will come and then they can replace us also. So I would look, I will say in this angle, we all should think, whether it is Gen Z or the previous generation also. uh, there are 2 things in any manufacturing organization. One is value creator and another is value enabler. So value creator means I am changing the form of that particular product. As much as of people in future also, the role of value creator will be more and value enabler will be lesser. So if my profile, we should think that our profile should be towards value creator. Am I getting involved to change the form of product? If yes, then we are safe. If no, then we immediately adopt the digital things, whatever we want to learn. So this thing only will help to move forward in 2030.
I
Thank
think
you.
the leaders are getting excited for the closing. I see Mr. Siddharth picking up the mic.
I'll just
You want
say
to
it's
add?
firstly it's a brilliant question because uh, when we had life before internet, we would go to libraries for information, and after internet, obviously internet, and now from Google we are going to ChatGPT and other AI systems. So when it just is of convenience, is of use, we'll not have to think how, it will just automatically happen. Is how I envision this.
Absolutely. So that's why Ratnakar told, and then many of other they also told that if my people, process, and asset is robust, any organization, even non-farm also, if these three things are robust, then I am ready yesterday also for my audit. So, and to make this robust, how I am taking the advantage of AI on any digital part. So uh, let's think on this three things robustness program. We can do this assessment in our own organization out of this three pillar, which is weaker. Whichever is weaker, if we'll make it better, then I am ready for all time audit readiness. That's all.
Great.
Sir, my question to the panel is myself, Venkatesh, and as a industry, India, we are doing so well. But one more thing I have identified is API. We are depending on China, sir, for our formulations manufacturing. So recently, 2 days back, we have seen news that one big pharma firm from India lost almost 5% of its share value because some problem with the API. Basically, they have to recall their batches. So, what are the challenges behind sourcing the API from India itself? Because even I have worked with one big pharma company for about 3 to 4 years in formulations. So I have seen in that period that most of we were having some two to three API sources. So API is more for the API procurement. We are shifting on China because the API sources we used to change from indigenous to China source because we have smooth supply. But the ultimate problem is recently the one firm got its batches recalled because of the API issue. So, what are the main challenges behind procuring India for API from India itself?
Yeah, actually, my perception is slightly different. India is, I think, they are ahead as far as APIs are concerned compared to China. But there are some cases, like you are saying, some recall cases are there. We don't know the exact reason for that. But outsourcing from China in that APIs there are because most of the raw materials and intermediates which are made in China are cheaper. Obviously, the APIs also are low in cost, which attracts formulators to buy from China. But as far as if you take the products or APIs which are generic supplies to US and other European markets, India is leading in that if you see the APIs. But like you said, maybe for a domestic market, we find China as a better option. But whereas for the regulatory compliance and other things, I think definitely India is far better in this.
So I want to highlight two things here. If you see about the API infrastructure in India, so from last 3 years, if you'll take the trend, so it's moving faster. So the first thing is that affordable cost, and as you told, the recall are there because when you are doing the vendor assessment, vendor development, and vendor approval, so many companies they are compromising the requirements. Like if you will see the today requirement of vendor development, we need to perform the risk assessment. So before you finalizing any vendor, you need to perform the risk analysis on the particular how it will give a business continuity run. So that many API companies, they are behind on that, how to business continuity in a longer time. So for that, actually, the system, the requirement is going on. So definitely, India will be the lead for the API, and now the work is under also going on. So many entrepreneurs are going to establish the API manufacturing companies. So we'll see that how it will be done.
Okay, so
Thank you, sir.
sure, thank you.
My name is Chennakeshwar Sadhanala. Thanks for the opportunity to be attend this event. So just I want to know one thing. As you said, in API industry, the pharma industry is supposed to shift to the batch continuation in terms of bioreactors. Is that pharma industry is already adapted or is going to adapt, sir?
Some industries have already adopted because
Name the
that is
companies like Paraz industry. I know that
Aurobindo is doing it.
some companies are preparing already the best, bioreactors. As far as my knowledge is concerned.
Bioreactors and biocatalysts also.
Okay.
This is a part of some of the processes where you have some pressure reactions and other things, and mostly here you can avoid these solvents where it is more of water medium, and earlier it more of synthetic processes were there. Now we have adopted to enzymatic processes. So these things are there are changes, but companies are doing this.
So Aurobindo is doing as of now.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Okay, so let's close the session. Yeah, last question we can take. Yeah, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Azhar Rabbani. I am from Precise AI, based out of Dubai. Day before yesterday, I was going through few of the halls. So I have, when I interacted with the stalls, what I realized is very few I've just heard that they are using automation robot manufacturing. Mostly they are still in no legacy manufacturing. So I just want to know what is the potential and where are we in the roadmap looking after the like other countries like China, US, they're already using the automation robot manufacturing. So just want to know from our, as you know, Make in India as a, which is very good. I understand it's applied in most of the industries. So I just want to understand in the pharma industries, where are we with the automation robot manufacturing? Thank you.
I think it's a huge opportunity because one is for equipment required for clinical trials where you do not want contaminants to be part of clinical trials. You want equipment manufactured by automated facilities. So that way you'll minimize contamination. We have Indian companies doing that, but not at a scale at which countries from western part of the world are doing. There's this company called Tarsans based out of India. They have an automated robot manufacturing facility, but that is limited to lab equipment and lab manufacturing facilities as well. So it is happening, but I think as and when the market grows, the supply will come. So that's one point I'd like to add.
Okay, I believe we are, yeah. It seems the audience are excited now.
Considering the tight regulatory framework, how much can we success using AI? If we want to be more success, what can be done to do it more successful using AI in pharma industry?
Anyone want to take that question?
Like AI is nothing but our extension of this data collection and other things where you put in the data and interpret by AI. Like even if you see LIMS, what we use in QC lab systems, management system. So there the tool is there, the LIMS, the data and other data is there. And if we use AI to review the data is reviewed by AI and it makes it easier. Like whole review of data, though it's in LIMS, it will take at least for a one batch review, it will take at least 2 hours. Suppose we have AI system, then it is done in a faster way, and the whole review system is done, and that will reduce the time of release of the batch, and this is how AI will be used, and this is the benefit which we are going to get.
Mhm.
So one caution, as you asked the question, see, AI is our assistant. We should not become that everything is given and then I have not read the outcome and I'm presenting to anyone. Okay, so for example, as Sridhar also told that AI is whatever data. Example, you manufactured one product and some OS happened. You required that last 100 batches. What was the issue? What was the risk register in that same product? Use AI for that. And data crunching, prescription, all things will be provided. But after that, we need to get involved and make the decision. So getting involved ourselves and making decisions should keep with us only as a human. Other things we should use as assistant only. Because prescription will be given, but that based on prescription, sometimes what will happen, gradually we'll think, yes, this is thinking beyond my what is my thinking, and that phase will also come. But with that, we should also read the things and then decide the things, because decision should be always with human. That is the only caution which I will suggest on here.
Okay. So with this, we would like to close the entire session. Just concluding in one statement, which is a takeaway from the entire discussion collaboratively, which is it is clear that the next chapter of the India pharma sector would definitely be written by smart technologies, achieving operational excellence, compliances, regulations, and of course a lot of collaboration between the key industry stakeholders, which all the distinguished panelists also mentioned. So with this thought, I would like to close this panel discussion, and I would thank each and every distinguished leaders present over here for taking out your valuable time and sharing those wonderful insight with us. Also, big thanks to the audience as well. You definitely put on a lot of good questions, and thank you so much again for participating in this panel discussion and giving this opportunity for sharing those kind of wonderful insights. So thank you so much.